to get a win, to play your first game here, just kind of your overall thoughts about this game.
We just had a long schedule on the road these last couple of few weeks. So just coming back home, just trying to make sure we're on our stuff, like making sure that we're putting, letting the fans see that we've, improved. And, it's been a uphill battle, but, we got the win today. We got a good team win. I think that we all came together collectively. So I think it's just momentum into conference.
I think it's always fun to be back at home and playing in front of our home crowd. We honestly just wanted to make everybody proud for everybody that's been supporting us from, the get-go, and that's what we did.
Mario, can you talk to me about your performance today with your WW pad? 23 points and 13 rebounds. I meant to say 22 points, sorry.
No, honestly, just my teammates and my coaching staff just being able to have confidence in me. It just helps me have confidence, and just making sure that when I step on the court that I'm on, doing exactly what I need to do at the start of the game, just so we can get the momentum, just to start us off hot. And yeah, just them having faith in me is really the biggest thing.
And as Arizona State managed to hang on in the fourth quarter, even though both Arizona State and Penn took a lot of trips to the free throw, what was the one word that the Sun Devils had in mind for the fourth quarter?
Honestly, just get a stop. Honestly, just get a defensive stop. That was our mentality. Anything and everything. So switching out, scrambling out, rebounding, anything and everything to get the stop.
To kind of piggyback off that for both of you, I mean, obviously can be a game of momentum. Like somebody goes on a run, both teams, you guys are going like back and forth. So the last 2-3 minutes of the game, do you feel, I say like more pressure? But I mean, is the last few minutes kind of nerve-wracking? It's been so back and forth.
No, I wouldn't say pressure. I feel like we've worked up until this point to be in positions like this, and we practice every day in practice, game-like situations, and it shows today.
Yeah, honestly, just
no problem.
We have this thing. What is the last 2-3 minutes of the game? It's just called winning time. So that's winning time. So that's everything and anything to get the stop, to get the win. So that's what we did today.
You've had several games recently where you've been pretty dominant. Is there anything as the season progresses that's allowing that to happen?
Honestly, I think I just have to let a lot of stuff go from my previous schools that I've been to, and so I think that coming here and being with these type of people, good people, and them having the love and support for me, I think that just helps me flourish. And honestly, just last year mentality. This is my 5th year, so I gotta really do the best that I can and really just go out with a bang. So
You made a very important basket there right in the last minute or so. Can you talk about that a little bit? Just about going down and making that bucket?
I knew we needed a bucket at that time. We were tired, I think,
Yeah.
and we needed to get a bucket. And I knew if I drove, she was going to go, and I know the fake was going to be there. So either that, the fake, my shot, or I was going to dump it off the van. So whatever opened up, that's what I did, and my shot was there. So I just took it with confidence.
Then wrapping, like you said, being on the road for so long, how do you feel that helps you now as you go into conference play? And you're not going to play obviously on the road that long, but when you're on a trip like that, what does it do for the team?
honestly, it's just like going on the road, especially for that long, is not easy. So we had a couple of losses, tough losses, but I think that it just helped us build more as a team. I mean, like I said, this is a new team. We haven't played with each other. We got 7 transfers, so I think that just continue to come in every day and just working together, getting to know each other's game, getting to know the coaching staff a little bit more. I think it's just showing right now. So just big win to push us forward into conference.
Did it make any difference to you guys playing here as opposed to at Desert Financial, or does it matter?
I think it's a little bit more intimate. I think that Desert Financial is, it's a big space. So I think this one was a little bit more intimate. I was able to hear what the fans were saying, a little bit more. So I think it was pretty cool. I mean, it was cold in here because, it's hockey, but we did good. We did good.
I mean, I like it. We were closer to the fans. Just to feel the support and their energy, and it helped.
I'll say a gritty, gutsy win. To be back at home, glad to be back at home after the long gauntlet on the road. We talked about how we wanted to close out 2024 and how we were going to do it together and how we were going to do it on the defensive end. I thought, UPenn is a tough opponent, and an offense in which the continuity offense where you have to guard, you have to be disciplined. And I felt like in that first half, they were pretty much getting whatever it is they wanted, whether it was backdoor, whether it was second chance opportunities, and we really talked about it at halftime that we have to defend and we have to limit them to one shot. They were digging out 50-50 balls. They were getting those long rebounds. When you take a large amount of threes, you're going to have longer rebounds. And so I just thought that there was a focus coming out in the second half to get the stops that we needed. We talked about getting out in transition, all 5 rebounding the ball, putting pressure on them in transition. We wanted that 3-on-2 or that 2-on-1 advantage break, and they did that. I also thought we shared the ball on offense. We didn't force a lot of shots. The shot clock was running down, and we were getting the shot that we wanted, not a rush shot. And so I just thought it was a very poised and executed second half, and it was team offense, team defense to the very end.
And then the back and forth part of it, like you're talking about, I mean, I know they were up in 3 or 4. And,
right.
But it's pretty much back and forth. And when, sort of just asking players, when you get into a game like that and there's no, like you said, you're scoring, they're scoring, but there's no like real momentum. What's the toughest part in coaching that down the stretch?
It has to be defensive momentum. Defense is going to create that tempo, and we talked about holding them to a certain amount each quarter, right? 20-plus point quarter is no defense, right? Whether it's good offense or not on both ends, that's too many points. And so we just really tried to hammer home the defense of it. We felt like they were cutting. We felt like their perimeter players were open. We shortened up the gap. We ran them off the three-point line. I mean, the amount of threes they took in the first half to limiting them in the second half from 3. Those are the key stats. But I thought for us, it was the rebounds and the stops that led to those transition points, and we took care of the ball offensively.
Can you talk to me about the offensive rebounding for the Sun Devils and how crucial it is for Arizona State to hang on despite both teams, Arizona State and Penn, taking a lot of trips to the free throw line in the fourth quarter?
Well, we knew that we were in the bonus down the stretch, so we said put foul pressure on for sure. But from a rebounding standpoint, it's always great for us to get second and third chances on one shot. Percentages go up. But for them, we had to limit them to that, because again, in the first half, they picked it up, 50-50 ball, 4-3. Second chance, 4-3. Now, that's a momentum killer, especially after you've played really good defense. And so the challenge was to limit them, to box out. And we got an over the back call. Jazzion Jackson was huge and just wrestling, tussling for the ball. Kennedy Basham as well. And so those were the momentum. We talked about momentum. Those were the momentum plays that really got the team ignited, the energy ignited, and I thought that contributed to the win.
It's a kind of a balance there, like do we repurpose it in or do you take her out? But when you
Leave her in.
Well, when you took her out and then brought her back with like 5 something,
Right.
that seemed like that really works. She was able to finish the game.
Well, and as we're learning our team, I think Nevaeh, you saw it, there's no quit in her, and she goes 100% from the time she steps on the court to the time she finishes. And I think just that momentum for her, she came out of the game, got a breather, got her wind, and then was able to finish and effective. I mean, they had to double team or triple team her. Nevaeh is so smart, doesn't force too many things, makes the right reads. She's a presence inside, and so I think to your point, Jeff, those last 5 minutes with her on the floor were key.
And you mentioned Jackson, and it seemed like, you might not tell from the stat line, but it seemed like it was important having her back, like she added a lot.
Well, Jazz is she takes pride in defense, right? She talks about defense. Everyone knows on the team that she is that defensive prowess, if you will. And she's intentional. She's a big guard that can rebound. She got in the mix on a lot of those rebounds, and she just plays the game the right way. I thought she was effective. She was out of position a little bit today. We had her kind of in that trail spot, and for her to be so adaptable and with the lineup change and with what we needed her to bring. But she's a veteran. She's a mature player. She's logged a lot of minutes, and just having that experience on the floor today, sure.
And speaking of veteran, I mean, obviously it was a tough first half for times. Sure,
Yeah.
she wasn't happy when she walked in the locker room. But having a player like that and the experience for her to come back,
Right.
and to your point too, the offense kept flowing and she's making sure the ball's moving, but just her second half and her able to battle back. I mean, I know you're probably used to seeing it, but what does it say about her? That was a pretty tough first half.
Well, I will tell you, she was happy in the locker room after because we won, right? I'll start with that. But Ty is a competitor, so you know she's going to go back and carve it up. But what she didn't do was press. What she didn't do was force anything. She hit, you know, 2 big shots in the second half when we hadn't scored for a minute, and they weren't threes, they were short shots, they were mid-range jumpers. But she let the game come to her. She fed the hot hand. Jaya Lizette, right? She's a sophomore, and I'm gonna tell you, she has a really, really, really bright future because she played poised today. 7 assists, no turnovers. She was unstoppable downhill. So I think that's the beauty and balance of our team. Ty, of course, we've seen her score, you know, prolific numbers, but it was someone else's night tonight, and she was able to share that and feed the hot hand and celebrate the win as a team.
Speaking of Jaya Lovett, when she made a jumper to extend Sun Devils lead to 4 points within under a minute and 30
That was
in
a
the
big
game.
bucket, yes.
Can you explain how?
Well, she's
how
tough.
meaningful it
I
is?
call her my little pit bull. She's fearless. She's a competitor. Right? She's no stranger to making that shot. She takes them in practice. She wants that moment, and I trust her with it, and so does her team. And I think it was in the realm of the offense. It was what we needed at the time, and it was a shot that she practices, and we know that she can make. So just toughness and knocking that down.
I know you have a few more games over here. What did you think of playing?
I thought it was awesome to be able to be here in Mullet. First of all the good energy in Mullet, right? Let it all rub off on us. But we've seen obviously, you know, our hockey team, Coach Powers, great. I thank him all the time for sharing the building with us, and we know what JJ has been able to do here. But you know, you feel the fans on top of you with the size of the arena, and it just speaks to the commitment from our administration all the way down, and the versatility here at ASU where we have different venues that we can perform in. So grateful for the opportunity.
Anything else?
All right. Just wondering, Ms. Brown, what's Brown's situation and what's Maggie's situation?
They are on the way back on the men's. Obviously nothing season ending, but just, you know, this time of year you get banged up a little bit. And so they are going actually to be evaluated today by the doctor, and we'll know more.